today I thought I might do something a little bit different. Over this past week, I rented and watched 3 different horror films: Split, The Bye-Bye Man, Rings, and so I thought I would just kind of sit down and talk about them, give a bit of a review, so I know how I'm feeling about them. Something I haven't done on my channel before, but I would like to hopefully do in the future if this is something that y'all enjoy. I will put a timestamp below just so you can skip to any movies that you want to watch or skip over any of the ones that you don't care about. And of course, spoiler alert, I will be talking about these movies in detail. So if you haven't seen any of them, I'd suggest maybe not watching this one and watch last week's video where I did my May horror block unboxing, which is where I got the sweet Last Boys t-shirt. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start with the first movie I watched, which is Split. If you don't know what this is about, it is about a guy with DID. It's dissociative identity disorder, also known by most people as multiple personality disorder, although that is not the correct terminology. It is dissociative personality disorder or identity disorder. So this movie, I didn't have a whole lot of necessarily expectations going into it, but it is definitely way better than I thought it was going to be. So, James McCoy, I think that's how you pronounce his last name, he plays the main character with the DID, and I've seen him in some things, and he is a good actor, but I was, like, way surprised. It's just, he was amazing. He literally becomes these, like, different identities, not only just, like, changing his accent, but just his posture and bone structure. Like, it was crazy to watch. Again, like I said before, spoilers. For those of you who have seen it, the bits when he, like, is just personality after personality talking, that part was crazy. And yeah, really, really freaking good. So yeah, I definitely enjoyed that one a lot more than I thought. So as far as actors, there weren't like a lot of actors that I really knew super well. Aside from James, there was Haley Lou Richardson, who she is in the movie The Bronze, which I love. It's a comedy. If you haven't seen it, it's fantastic. Anyway, different movie. And The Edge of 17. So those are kind of the only things that I really knew her from. Now, on the topic of, the sensitivity of mental disorder, I personally felt like they handled it really well. Though, granted, I don't have DID, so my opinion isn't as important as some other people's. I will actually try to find maybe if there's anybody who hasn't that did a review. I will leave a link in the description below if I find anything. If I don't, and you guys know of anybody who has, let me know, because that would be really cool to see what somebody who actually has it and maybe watched the film thought of it. So I will say the whole thing of the psychiatrist being like, you've unlocked this whole nother level of being or whatever, I found that kind of annoying. Like, could possibly be true, people with, DID, maybe, yeah, they have unlocked something, but at the same time, like, you're a person with a mental disorder brought on by a tragic event, usually, which is usually the case. People shouldn't be praising that, I guess. I don't know. She didn't seem like that good of a psychiatrist in my point of view. I felt like her kind of encouraging I don't want to say encouraging, but her is praising him for being above other people probably didn't help that with that extra personality. But yeah, aside from that, all in all, I did really like the movie. Acting was great all around. Plot was really great. I do highly suggest it. If you haven't seen it, it's really good. But I will say there are some triggering things. There is mention of child abuse and death. So yeah, trigger warnings. So the second movie I'm going to talk about is The Bye Bye Man. I literally had no expectations for this movie whatsoever. I don't even know if I don't think I even watched any trailers for it. I just saw it and was like, I'll rent it. And it was surprisingly really good. I liked it a lot more than I thought I was going to, especially because the title was very weird. The poster's kind of strange until you watch the movie and then it makes sense. I will say the opening scene reminded me a lot of It Follows, kind of the same feel. Most of the movie actually did. If you liked It Follows, you will probably like this film as well. Acting, okay. I mean, it was mostly fairly unknown actors, but then I mean, they're all right. I don't think they're gonna win any Oscars anytime soon, but yeah, I mean, I really liked it. It was a lot scarier than I thought it was. Story plot not that original. You know, it's a little, like I said, kind of It Follows meets a bit of the Boogeyman with kind of the idea behind like most urban legends, you know, like Bloody Mary or, you know, any of those ones where like you repeat a name and the person comes type thing, but it's more of a mental thing. The ending kind of, I I did enjoy it. Um, went differently than I thought it was gonna be. You know, you kind of you're not that emotionally attached to the characters, which is kind of a bummer. But towards the end, you do start kind of rooting for the main guy. Scene where he goes to see the widow of the journalist, that, and he like figures out how to break everything. I was like, yes, like maybe this is gonna end with him being able to just like bypass everything and save everybody, and totally thought he was going to, and then he didn't, and then like but I do have to say I loved the part with his niece when they're in the truck and she's like, you know, I can't read in the dark, and I was like, yes, like it led me to believe that it stopped at her. That's how I like to view it. If y'all have different opinions, let me know what y'all think. But I liked it. I was surprisingly kind of terrified at parts. Not terrified, but yeah, jumped a little bit. It is kind of nice. I feel like it is something that I may have to rewatch because, you know, if you've seen it, a big part of the concept is what's in their brain and what's actually happening. So I feel like it's definitely something that I'm sure there are parts that were more in their brain that we didn't catch. So that would be kind of cool to, you know, look into and give it a rewatch. But yeah, I surprisingly enjoyed it. I definitely think it's worth watching. Not, you know, the best horror film of all time, but I really liked it. So again, I suggest it. So the third movie, which was Rings, I really enjoyed this movie. So I saw the first one, The Ring, when I was in like junior high or high school, and it was scary. I honestly wasn't that terrified by it, but I had also seen Scary Movie 3, or yeah, Scary Movie 3 first. So if you've seen that movie, you know that it's a lot of the jokes in that movie are based off The Ring. So when I went and saw The Ring, I was like, or I did finally see The Ring, I was like, oh, like all I could think about was that movie. So yeah, the original first, whatever you want to call it, not super scary. I never saw Rings 2, probably just because I didn't really care that much for the first one. But I will say Rings, I really liked. I don't feel like you necessarily have to have seen this. I think seeing the first one helped. Maybe if I watch the second one, it may have helped. I don't know. Y'all can let me know, like, hey, yeah, you should have watched the second one because there's some detail in that you need. But I felt like the third one did a really good job of explaining a lot from the first one anyway. I think it still helps to see one if you haven't before you see Rings, but you don't necessarily have to. I will say it scared me. I had a feeling that it might, and it done did. So, acting, we'll talk about acting. Fairly good. It had the plays, had the guy from Big Bang Theory and Rose. Don't know his name, but I'm sure if y'all know who I'm talking about. I've always thought he was a good actor. I liked him on Roseanne. So, you know. Not the main girl, but the girl that plays Sky, one of kind of the other main characters-ish. She was in Scream 4. She like dies in the beginning. But I was watching it and I was like, where the hell do I know her from? And then I was like, oh my god, she's in Scream 4. That's awesome. So, you know, y'all know who I'm talking about. So did this Scream moment, which is really cool. The main actress in it, I don't think I've seen her in anything. Looked her up earlier. Still have a whole lot of movies on her Google. So yeah, that was kind of nice getting, there are a few recognizable people. The guy that plays the boy from Hulk, I think I've seen him something, but I'm not sure what. So yeah, it was nice kind of having a main actress that hasn't really done a lot. I feel like it kind of threw things off track from the first one, which is part of why I say I don't really feel like you need to watch the first one to watch this one. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I just don't remember the first one well enough. But it felt like obviously we knew about like her being trapped like in the well and whatnot. But yeah, the whole like her mom being captured thing. I thought that they talked about her parents in the first one, but maybe I was wrong. Well, I don't know. And maybe that wasn't plot twist. Maybe I just don't remember the first one well enough. The ending with her like basically the ending I thought was really good, was really genius with her basically becoming Samara. That was not what I expected, I guess. And they do like the flashback to like the hints, so you're like, oh, should have seen that coming. And I knew that there had to be more because it obviously wasn't just going to end and be like, the ring is over, we're all done, nothing ever has, we saved her or whatever, nothing ever has to happen with that ever again. But that was not what I expected for the ending. So I really liked it. So yeah, that's kind of my loose reviews on these. If you did enjoy this, please give it a big thumbs up. I would like to. And maybe do, 3 movies each time, or I can just do one and go into one big detail about each movie. But yeah, just let me know in the comments below. Make sure you hit subscribe. I post new videos new horror-related videos every week. And turn on the little notification bell so you don't miss anything. But thank you so much for watching.